call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Earl, do you have an invocation for us?
We bow with me, please. Father in heaven, we come to you today and we just praise your name. We thank you, Father, for the blessings you've given us, the moisture that we've received, the bright, warm sunshine that we had today. Thank you, Father, for this city and for this country. We just pray that you continue to bless us as we strive to do your will. Thank you for Jesus, and in his name we pray. Amen.
We're going to pledge to the American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Gil, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We also have Crystal's daughter Zoe with us. Thank you for joining us today. All right, let's get started. Our first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our August 9th, 2021 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We also need to approve the minutes from our September 9th public hearing over the budget.
I move we approve those.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the September 9th public hearing minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item on the agenda is to consider Ordinance O-527-0921 Adopting the 2021-2022 budget. This ordinance will adopt the budget for the next year. This budget will raise more total property taxes than last year's budget by $7,086.99, or 0.0066%. And of that amount, $7,086.99 is tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax roll this year. See if they have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Sorry, we have a record vote on that. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Raise your right hand. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is consider Ordinance O-528-0921 Setting the 2022 tax rate. This ordinance sets the 2022 tax rate for maintenance and operation at 63, it sets it at .6358, and the interest and sinking at .1483 for a total of .7841. We also have to have a record vote on this as well.
That is the same as last year. Is that correct?
Actually not. There's a little change. But there is a non-new revenue. That's the rate that we needed for this year to raise the same amount of money that we did last year.
Very good.
That was the best option that we could have made for the taxpayers.
Yes.
I will make a motion that we set the 2022 tax rate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to set the 2022 tax rate. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is to consider Resolution R-778-0921 approving an Atmos Energy Rate Settlement. Ron?
Thank you, Mayor. What this resolution does, it approves a settlement between Atmos Energy and West Texas Cities Coalition. There's about 66 cities on that coalition. When Atmos filed a rate increase to PUC was $1.2 million. After negotiating, Atmos agreed on $152,000 rate increase for the next year. That will start on December 31st, that rate increase. The impact on a customer monthly bill is roughly 7 cents. That's on the stands right now. So staff recommends that council approves this resolution.
I make a motion that we approve the resolution. A motion and a second to approve the resolution in the Atmos Energy Rate Settlement case. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is to consider resolution R-779-0921 denying SPS's rate increase. Ramon?
Along the same lines, so this is XL Energy, South Public Service. This resolution, what it does, it denies the rate increase, so it allows alliance of municipalities to kind of keep negotiating with SPS and lower the rates. This is a deal that's kind of goes back and forth. XL or SPS submit the rate increase. The coalition or the alliance counteracts and says, so well, that's too much or whatever. Then a lot of times it comes down to the PUC decide on the rate. So at this time, this resolution allows us more time to negotiate on a better rate.
I move we accept.
Go ahead.
I move we accept this
I'll say.
ordinance.
We have a motion and a second for resolution denying the SPS rate increase. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is to consider ordinance O-529-0921 amending Chapter 12 of the Code of Ordinances prohibiting parking of commercial vehicles on city streets.
And just like the ordinance it reads, it's an ordinance that's where it's going to prohibit the parking of commercial vehicle on city streets. After long consideration and years of thinking about this, we look not only at the safety aspect of it, but also long-term effect to our city streets. Our streets are not made for heavy traffic, so staff, we see the need for this ordinance to be adopted. I asked the police department to kind of go around and kind of look at where some of those vehicles were located. I think at one point we had a list about 14 different. This is for commercial vehicles, okay? Your semis, semi-trailers, your dump trucks, grain haulers, all that. It does not apply to the 16-foot trailers that people use, even if they use it for commercial purposes. It has to be addressed or has to be as a commercial vehicle. So.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance O-529-0921.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass the ordinance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is to consider ordinance O-530-0921 amending Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances establishing regulations for mobile food vendors.
I'm sure all of you know there's an increase of mobile food vendors in town. And what this ordinance does, it creates a permit to the city, and not necessarily to kind of regulate more of a health issue aspect of it. They are going to be required to have a permit to the health department, food handling certificate, but also it gives us a way to control some of this. So So it's not any different, a lot of cities are doing this. So I believe that because of the increase of food vendors, we see the need for the service.
It is going to establish a fee for,
There is.
okay.
The next item on the agenda will establish a fee. What it is, I'll go ahead and give it. It's a 6-month permit. I believe it's $125 for 6 months or $225 for a year. Not necessarily generate a lot of funds for us, but more gives us, let's say, a way to regulate some of these vendors. We could easily end up with some sort of food illnesses or something that at least we have a little better control of that. And we make sure that they're up to standards.
So they'll get the health permit first, and then they bring that to get the city permit?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Do they not already have a health permit, or do they?
We have no way of knowing.
Okay.
So this is what it's going to do. We actually want to do an inspection on those trucks or trailer or whatever it is.
Right.
And so starting off with, how will it be enforced? Are you going to go to each food truck, or?
As we see them, we want to approach them, I think for the first, several months or a month or whatever, it's going to be educational. We're going to approach them and tell them, okay, this is what the city council has adopted, and kind of work with them. We're more in compliance, not necessarily enforcement, so, but if it comes down to enforcement, we will enforce it. We want folks to comply right on it first.
Who's going to make that first contact? Or-
Either to code enforcement or the fire marshal. Benny Parker is our fire marshal. He would have a part of the inspection, because they are required to have a fire extinguisher and some of that stuff, so it's going to be a combination of both.
I think some of the benefit is kind of like vendors that come through town selling things from door to door, and they have to obtain a permit from the city.
Yeah.
And you get people calling, such and such, walk the streets, at least that gives us some contact there. And so I'll make a motion that we consider this ordinance and amend the Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to consider ordinance O-531-0921, amending the fee schedule. Just like we were just talking, the fee for the food vendor permit would be $125 for a 6-month permit, or $225 for a 12-month permit. I'll make a motion that we pass this ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the fee schedule. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item on the agenda, we're still waiting on some documents to come in, so we need to postpone this item. So I'm going to make a motion to postpone the consideration of this item to the next regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to postpone item number 9. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 10 on our agenda is to review and discuss Section 3 policy updates and information for the TxCDBG contract number 722-0319 and planning grant number 722-0084. Ramon?
It's got to go to this item number 9, but it's a new requirement from PDA and HUD. It requires that any grant recipient review and discuss the Section 3 policy presentation during a meeting of governing body. The city has adopted multiple Section 3 throughout the years. The overall purpose of this section is to facilitate contracts and employment opportunity for low and very low income workers. And that not only includes, it also includes subcontractors under these grants. But it is something that has been implemented, and it's something that we have to address anytime we have a grant. Used to, we kind of put on the contractor that provided, but a list of employees and kind of go from there. Now this requires that we actually do some site inspections and talk to actual workers and all that. But it also gives the disadvantaged companies the opportunity to bid on projects. That's basically what it creates.
Does this item require any action?
We just have to present it to you. Yeah, because if you have any questions, I mean, one might try to answer.
Does anybody have any questions?
We do have a copy of the policy here at City Hall if anybody wants to read it. It's about 50, 60 pages, so you're welcome to come see it.
All right, we'll move on to our next item. Item 11 is consider awarding the bank depository agreement. Our bank depository agreement has already been with Happy State Bank, and we're just re-awarding that for the next year.
Actually, we go out every 3 years. We get a bid for depository every 3 years. We reach out to both local banks. Unfortunately, we only got one bid back from Happy State Bank after reviewing it and what they're offering. And kind of along the same lines that they're doing right now. So it's staff recommendation that you award the agreement to Happy State Bank.
I'll make a motion that we award that to Happy State Bank. A motion and a second to award that depository agreement to Happy State Bank. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to consider approving audit services with Terry and King CPA. As some of you may know, that Randy Field had been our accountant here at the city for as long as I've been here.
Yes, after 25 plus years, Randy Field decided to retire from services. So it is our recommendation the council approve Terry and King CPAs are a firm out of Lubbock. It's a small firm. Myself and Sam met with them, and we feel like that's something that someone can work with, and they felt the same way about the city of Muleshoe. They liked what they saw, and so they agreed to do the auditing services for us, starting with September 30th audit this fiscal year. So it is our recommendation that we, it's an agreement within the contract with Kevin King.
How long's the contract?
It's going to be, this is for this year.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping that it continues into this time around is for this year's audit.
So do they have any connections to Muleshoe, or how did Terry and King name?
Not that I know of. They do services for 10 cities and about 16 other school districts in the area. That is one of the reasons that I approached him. We did contact some other ones. Apparently, governmental auditing is a little different. So they seem like it's somebody. We get about the same field as Randy, a small firm. So I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, and Ramon reached out to some cities that already use Terry and King services, and they highly recommended them as well. So that made us feel good about that decision.
We'll make a motion, we award that agreement to Terry and King CPA.
No second. We have a motion and a second to approve audit services with Terry and King CPAs. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item on the agenda is to consider TML Health Benefits Pool COBRA continuation of coverage administrative agreements.
City currently does offer a COBRA continuation to our employees. Currently, it's being administered to the TML Health Benefit Pool. What this agreement does, it allows us to continue, TML continue administering our COBRA services. it's a benefit, it's part of our benefit. Employees have the option, either when they retire or when they leave the city, to reach out and get COBRA, you know. So like I said, right, this is something that's, it's an update more than anything. So we do, staff recommends that, award the agreement to TML.
Make a motion to award that agreement.
I'll second
We have a motion and a second to award that agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is to receive the financial statement for the month ending August the 31st, 2021. I'll make a motion to receive that financial statement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is administrative reports.
Thank you, Mayor. The SPAG General Assembly meeting will be tomorrow at the Science Spectrum at Civic Hall at 6 p.m. I know some of us will be attending that. The annual TML Region III meeting is going to be on February 30th. And that's going to be at 5 p.m. and it's going to be at the Lubbock City Hall. It's Citizens Tower. We'll do that. Something unique about that one, they're going to have we talk about food trucks. The meal's going to be provided by citizens food trucks, and that's going to be on the 30th. We'll put out, if you contact Selena, we plan to go to that.
We need to know if you're going to plan on attending that by the 21st, so that doesn't give us a whole lot of time, but I'll need to know if you and your spouse will be attending by the 21st.
The TML Annual Conference will be October the 6th through 8th in Houston. You guys are aware of that. We're making plans for that. So, saying I could have more information for y'all. If you have any questions, he's the one to talk to. So, so you're warned that to answer any questions you have. The next item is TxDOT Award Presentation. Back in 2020, the city was nominated for an award through the TxDOT Aviation Division. Because of COVID, they canceled their conference. And so this year, at their annual conference, they recognized not only the 2020 award recipients, but also the 2021. Juan and myself attended the conference, and what I'd like to do is present the actual data that they provided to us.
Don, you may not see us for just a second.
This year, the Aviation Division would like to introduce a new award to our celebrations. The Airport Community Involvement Award pays tribute to a Texas community who best exemplifies the awareness of the importance of their airport as a critical link within their community. Our winner is a well-maintained and well-supported airport located in the heart of the Panhandle. The improvements made and actions taken by the city to promote and encourage airport enhancements and increased operations is commendable. Many of their efforts were done solely with local resources and funding. The city and surrounding community certainly understand the importance of having a local airport. In 2016, this airport's based aircraft count dropped below 10 based aircraft, which rendered them ineligible to collect non-primary entitlement funds for 2 years. The airport had only 8 aircraft and worked diligently to attract aircraft owners to build hangars to ensure the based aircraft count will always be at 10 or higher. The city's efforts attracted one aircraft owner to build a hangar at the airport, bringing the total amount of based aircraft to 9, one short of the magic number of 10 based aircraft. Not about to give up, the city was determined to not lose their classification and built the 10th box hangar using 100% local funds. Happily, the airport now has 10 based aircraft and regained its federal funding classification in 2019. This is a big accomplishment, to be sure. Not stopping there, the city obtained a vehicle for use as a courtesy car for those flying in and out of the airport. While some use it for business, others fly in just to have lunch at a local restaurant. Two families who live across the country from one another have found that the airport is a good halfway point for them to meet for occasional weekend visits. They both fly in and use the courtesy car for the weekend before returning home. The city also transformed an apartment into a pilot's lounge. There, pilots will find a comfortable place to rest, a clean restroom, and refrigerator with cold drinks. The city also recently formed an airport advisory board made up of local pilots who are committed to increasing the usage of the airport. They have plans for fly-ins as well as other events to further showcase the airport. Add to this the city's current efforts to improve the airport's parallel taxiway. As you can see, the city of Muleshoe is the epitome of community involvement in action. Please join us in congratulating Muleshoe Municipal Airport and the City of Muleshoe as the 2020 winners of the Texas Airport Community Involvement Award.
Can you send that video to me?
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
You know, everybody, the story line, do that. The rest of the thing? Right. Okay. This is the award that's presented to the city of Muleshoe. Couple other notes that are not on here, Mayor. While back, I mentioned we were looking at buildings, basketball goals at the city park. Are they completed? No.
No, really cool.
Those. The concrete has been laid and the poles have been put up at the goal are not up yet. And those are, that's been completed. Also, the school nights for the rollout project have been ordered. They're 90 days out before we get here, so those also have been ordered.
That's great.
And that's all I have.
Does council have any remarks?
Big thanks to everybody at the City and Airport Board for accomplishing this.
That's awesome.
Right here.
It is.
That's good. I just had one question. On item 7, where we're talking about mobile food vendors, we passed the ordinance and everything, is there, we talked about one of two entities going out, making the first step, telling them what was required and all that stuff. Are we gonna have a log like we do on the police activity log, monthly log, to show? And I'm not super curious about that, but people ask, people that live in Muleshoe, they're saying, well, what's with all the food trucks and stuff and all this? And so now I can say, well, you know, they pay a fee to come and do this, and are we gonna have a log to?
I guess I don't understand what kind of law you're talking about.
Who's been approached and who's actually paid the
Actually,
fee?
we would have a list of permits. So every vendor that, and if we see somebody that's not on our permit list, we will approach them and kind of make them aware of what the new regulations are. Also, the caption of the ordinance will be published on the paper next week. So that's going to give them an opportunity to see what's coming up. We want to make this an educational at the beginning,
Right.
but no, we will have a list of permit holders.
Which is similar to what we do now with vendors that are, you know, the door-to-door sales. But we keep a list, that way the police department knows that we do background and so forth. So that way we're aware. But I think maybe what he's asking as well, if we were to have to cite somebody or enforce, is that maybe what you're talking about? Would that be on the activity report? There would probably be a category that we would outline as part of that.
No, I was just asking because I've been asked, people are saying, you know, well, are they permitted? Are they legal? Can they do what they're doing out there on the parking lot or whatever?
And yes, and Senator, the permit has to be displayed on their truck or trailer or whatever, yes. Not only with the city permit, but also the health department permit has to be displayed. The food handling certificate has to be displayed as well. So that creates us easier for us to go ahead and say, hey, where is your permit, or, you know. There are some regulations that this ordinance will address, the distances of where they can park and all that. And one of the things that it addresses is they have to have a permit, something in writing from the business owner where they're at, that they're actually agreed for them to be there. That is part of the city ordinance, yes. So.
Anybody else?
Nothing.
I would like to add that I attended an event last night at a YouTube sensation by the name of Cafe Anderson was at. And he has the most popular patriotic song since Lee Greenwood's God Bless America. And he put out on social media that the 13 soldiers that were killed in Afghanistan, if the families would like him to sing that song, Amazing Grace, at any of their services, he would be happy to help them with that. And I think he's attended 9 of them already and sang it at 9 of them. And so if you guys have a chance to check him out, the name of his song is Mr. Red, White, and Blue. It's a pretty neat message that he has. But I just want to share that with you.
His name is what?
Cafe Anderson. He's actually from, I think it's Bangs, Texas.
As a Netflix reality show.
Yeah.
Where was this at? Where'd you go see him?
So I went to an event last night with Jody Arrington,
Oh, okay.
and Cafe was the entertainment at the event. But Jody Arrington was there, and then Devin Nunez was also there, so I got to hear both of them speak and share some information. It was a nice event to attend. Anybody else? All right, I think we're adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.